Freakonomics Radio is sponsored by Southern New Hampshire University. The best investments are the ones you make in yourself, and no one knows that better than Southern New Hampshire University. With more than 200 online degree programs, no set class times, and low online tuition, Southern New Hampshire University is built to fit your life today and set you up for success tomorrow. Education is an investment. Why not make it a smart one? Apply for free at snhu.edu/Freakonomics. Freakonomics Radio is sponsored by Hotels.com. Hotels.com gives you access to hundreds of thousands of hotels worldwide. And when you join for free, you can save up to 20% instantly with member prices. Plus, every stay earns rewards. So when you book one trip, you're already lowering the cost of the next one. Hotels.com is simple, rewarding, and designed to help you get more out of every stay. Sign up for free and book today. Hotels.com. It's all in the name. Freakonomics Radio is sponsored by Amica. You know what they say, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So go with Amica and get coverage from a mutual insurer that's built for their customers, one that looks after what's important to you together. Auto, home, life, and more, coverage that fits your unique needs. Amica helps you protect what matters most. Visit amica.com and get a quote today.
From APM, American Public Media, and WNYC, this is Freakonomics Radio on Marketplace. Here's the host of Marketplace, Kai Ryssdal.
Time now for a little bit of Freakonomics Radio, that moment in the broadcast every couple of weeks where we talk to Stephen Dubner, the co-author of the books and the blog of the same name. It is The Hidden Side of Everything. Dubner, how are you?
I've been worse.
You have? All right. Okay.
I'm doing all right.
You're doing all right.
Grateful.
You know why you're doing all right, though? Because Super Tuesday is behind you, man. You don't have to worry about the politics anymore.
That is a big part of it. You know how I feel about the presidency.
That's where I was going, because generally you think it's overrated, right?
I do. I believe that the office of the President of the United States, it just matters a lot less than most people think. Now, I will say, when I make this argument, I get hate mail from both sides of the aisle. So conservatives will accuse me of covering for President Obama, and liberals accuse me of kind of preempting criticism of some future Republican nominee.
Yeah, all right. Well, I mean, the man is the leader of the free world, so to speak. So what's the actual truth here, dude? How do you feel?
You know, look, personally, I have no horse in any race. I dislike both political parties about equally. But here's the thing. We're heading into a presidential campaign now that is likely to focus on the economy, and rightfully so.
Yep.
And I'm here to tell you and your listeners that of all the areas in which the president's influence is overrated, the economy is probably number one. So I'd like you here to listen to Austin Goolsbee, who's a former chairman of President Obama's Council of Economic Advisors.
I think the world vests too much power, certainly in the president, but probably in Washington in general, for its influence on the economy, because most all of the economy has nothing to do with the government.
I love the way he talks, by the way. Sounds like a mafia guy, doesn't he? All right, but wait, listen. You were around in the 92 election. You were paying attention, yes?
I was a sentient being then.
That's
yes.
right. So Clinton, it's the economy, stupid. That's why the guy won.
It's a fantastic campaign slogan. You get to brag about how you will raise employment and lower gas prices, as if, Kai, there's some magical set of buttons in the Oval Office that you get to push once you're elected, you know, more jobs button and so on. But as Austin Goolsbee points out, the president's ability to actually change the shape and the direction and the velocity of the macroeconomy, it's extremely limited.
Let me go back then to the actual politicians who say otherwise. You had Clinton, and now you've got Mitt Romney, former CEO, a business guy, goes out every stump speech he makes, and he says, I know what to do in the economy. I've been there. I've created jobs. I've fired people, blah, blah, blah. You're not buying that?
I buy that he believes that to be true. A lot of people have believed that to be true in the past. This kind of common idea of the last 10, 15 years is president as CEO. But it doesn't work that way. We set it up to not work that way. When it comes to unilateral decision-making, there's no comparison between what a CEO can do and what a president can try to get done. Here's another way of looking at it with some actual data, okay, which is what we like to do.
I was waiting for the data, man. Come on.
In the 2004 Bush-Kerry presidential election, you may recall that there was a little bit of a snafu concerning the early exit polls.
Oh, yeah. Kerry was the winner for 3-something hours, 4 hours?
That's exactly right. It was announced that it was Kerry, but it turned out to be Bush. And the economist Justin Wolfers took advantage of that mix-up for a study that he did.
2004 was a social scientist's dream. What you have is 4 hours. I'm a Democrat, so I'll say 4 beautiful hours in which we basically had a Kerry presidency. And it was random.
So what Wolfers did is he looked at how the stock markets reacted to first the news of a Kerry presidency and then the new, turned out to be correct news of a Bush presidency.
You see, in fact, that stocks fell a little bit during the 4 hours of the Kerry presidency. And then they rose a bit when it became the Bush presidency.
Now, the difference between a new Democratic president and a new Republican president in the space of 4 hours was actually pretty small. It was about 1.5%. Now, this is just a sliver of evidence, but it does suggest that the people who pay the most attention to the working economy, which is to say Wall Street investors, didn't really care all that much about which president they got. And most economists will tell you that the president's role when it comes to the economy is much closer to, let's say, a cheerleader than a CEO.
Well, yeah, but you're never going to see Obama or Romney out there going, I can do nothing. Right?
No, you won't. They've got their self-interest. But just once, I'd love a presidential candidate to get up there on the stump and say, my fellow Americans, I can't control the U.S. economy. I've got a little bit of influence, but mostly it does what it does. If it gets worse on my watch, you shouldn't blame me. And if it happens to get better, you probably shouldn't give me too much credit either.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next president of the United States, Stephen Dubner. Freakonomics.
I think not.
Yeah, right.
Now you know why I'm free to be on your radio show. Nobody in Washington wants to touch me.
That's exactly right. Freakonomics.com is the website. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, Kai.
This podcast is sponsored by Made In Cookware. Made In partners with multi-generational artisans and some of the world's best chefs to create professional quality cookware, knives, and kitchen tools. Their products are trusted in Michelin-starred restaurants worldwide and designed to perform just as well in your kitchen. From 5-ply stainless clad to carbon steel, every piece is built to last and made to actually make you a better cook. Discover award-winning cookware at madeincookware.com.
Freakonomics Radio is sponsored by Ozempic. Innovation happens through rethinking what's possible, and when it comes to GLP-1s, Ozempic pill does just that. Learn more about Ozempic semaglutide tablets, 4 and 9 milligrams, by calling 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and ask your doctor what's possible with FDA-approved Ozempic pill. Freakonomics Radio is sponsored by Vitamix. According to the LA Times, the average American home contains 300,000 items, including a staggering number of appliances. All those gadgets, just clutter. But there's one tool that delivers what a dozen others only promise. From pureeing to chopping, Vitamix blenders bring the power of an entire kitchen to your countertop, offering enduring performance and precision you can count on. In a world full of clutter, do more with less. Visit Vitamix.com and shop now.